The Sports Drop. Football. Sport. Weekly.
60 years, one trophy, and a nation that still genuinely believes this is their year. England have the players, they have the squad depth, they have a world-class manager, and they have a group, Croatia, Ghana, Panama, that on paper they should walk through. So why does the Sports Drop believe England will disappoint again at the 2026 World Cup? 5 reasons. Let's get into it. Let's start with the uncomfortable truth that every England fan knows, but nobody wants to say out loud. England have appeared at 17 World Cups. They have won one. In 1966, on home soil, 60 years ago. Since then, in 60 years of World Cup football, England have reached the semi-finals or beyond just twice. In 1990, where they lost to West Germany on penalties, and in 2018, where they lost to Croatia in extra time. Every other tournament, they have gone out in the quarter-finals or earlier. Yes, England reached the final of Euro 2020 and Euro 2024. Both times they lost. Euro 2020 on penalties to Italy at Wembley. Euro 2024 to Spain in Berlin. Getting to finals and losing them is not progress. It is a different kind of heartbreak. The penalty shootout record alone tells a devastating story. England lost their World Cup shootout against West Germany in 1990. They lost to Argentina in 1998. They lost to Portugal in 2006. 3 World Cup shootout defeats before they finally beat Colombia in 2018, the first World Cup shootout England had ever won. And 2022, Harry Kane missed a penalty in the quarter-final against France. England went home. Some England fans will tell you this is ancient history, that the new generation of players is different, that Thomas Tuchel changes everything. But here is the thing about patterns. They exist for a reason. England have consistently underperformed at major tournaments for 6 decades, not because of bad luck, not because of difficult draws, but because of something deeper, a structural, cultural, and psychological problem that goes far beyond any individual manager or generation of players. And until that changes, the pattern will continue. England may be the only nation on earth where reaching the quarter-final is considered a failure. The weight of expectation on this squad is enormous. The British media will spend the next 3 weeks building England up as potential world champions. Every training session will be analysed. Every player's form will be debated. Every tactical decision Tuchel makes will be questioned before the first ball is kicked. And then when England win their first 2 group games against Ghana and Panama, which they should, the hysteria will reach fever pitch. It's coming home. Again, we've seen this cycle repeat itself so many times it almost feels scripted. 2018, it's coming home. 2021, it's coming home. 2022, it's coming home. The players are not immune to this pressure. The best international sides in the world, France, Brazil, Argentina, Spain, have all developed a culture of expectation management. They know how to tune out the noise. England have never cracked this. Jude Bellingham is the best example. When he is free from pressure and playing with confidence, he is one of the best players on the planet. But the moment England struggle, and they will struggle at some point in this tournament, the spotlight falls on him in a way that no 21-year-old should have to carry. The pressure of wearing an England shirt at a World Cup is unlike anything else in football. And history tells us it gets to them every time. England's opening game on June 17th in Dallas is against Croatia, and this fixture has history. Croatia knocked England out of the 2018 World Cup semi-final. They beat England 2-1 in extra time in Moscow. When England were the better team for large portions of that game, it remains one of the most painful nights in recent English football history. Now they meet again in the group stage, and while Croatia are not the force they were in 2018, Luka Modric is 40 years old and in the final chapter of a legendary career, and they are still an organised, experienced and deeply competitive side ranked 11th in the world. Here is the problem. England have a habit of struggling in their opening group game at major tournaments. At Euro 2020, they beat Croatia 1-0, but it was uncomfortable, unconvincing and far closer than the scoreline suggested. At Euro 2024, they beat Serbia 1-0, again unconvincing, again relying on a single moment of individual brilliance from Bellingham to get over the line. England do not start tournaments well. They do not hit the ground running. They grind, they struggle, they scrape through, and against Croatia on June 17th, scraping through may not be enough. If England draw or lose to Croatia, and Croatia are absolutely capable of making that happen, the entire narrative around England's 2026 World Cup shifts overnight. Suddenly the group isn't straightforward. Suddenly Ghana becomes a must-win. Suddenly the pressure cooker gets turned up to maximum. England versus Croatia, June 17th, Dallas. Mark it in your diary, because how England start this tournament will define everything that comes after. Thomas Tuchel is an elite manager. Nobody disputes that. Champions League winner with Chelsea. Deep tactical knowledge, exceptional man management. England are lucky to have him. But here is the question that keeps coming back. What is England's plan B? Tuchel has built his England around a core spine. Pickford in goal, Rice in midfield, Bellingham behind the striker, Kane leading the line. When that spine is working, England are genuinely dangerous. But what happens when it isn't? Harry Kane is 33 years old at this tournament. He arrives with 79 international goals, the most in England's history. But his World Cup knockout record tells a more complicated story. At Russia 2018, his only knockout goal was a penalty against Colombia. At Qatar 2022, he scored 0 knockout goals and missed the crucial penalty against France in the quarter-final. In World Cup knockout football specifically, when the pressure is at its absolute maximum, England's greatest ever scorer has failed to deliver from open play. If Kane goes into a goal drought, as he occasionally does even at Bayern Munich, England have no natural plan B striker. Ivan, Tony and Ollie Watkins are capable forwards, but neither carries the authority or goal threat that Kane provides at his best. Similarly, if Bellingham is marked out of a game, which elite opposition will absolutely attempt to do, England's creative options thin dramatically. Marcus Rashford has had an inconsistent season. Ebereki is exciting but untested at this level. The greatest tournament teams in history have always had a plan B. England in 2026 do not. And finally, the biggest reason of all, England will get out of their group. We are almost certain of that. Croatia, Ghana and Panama are all beatable. The three Lions will arrive in the knockout rounds with confidence and momentum. And then they will hit the wall, because in the round of 32 or the quarterfinals, England will face one of the tournament's elite sides. If they top their group, they avoid France and Spain until the semi-finals at the earliest. Argentina could await them in the quarterfinals, and that brings its own history. And when the moment comes, when England are level in extra time in a quarter-final and the game goes to penalties, the weight of 60 years of history comes crashing down on every player's shoulders. England have now lost 3 major tournament finals or semi-finals on penalties since 1990. The shootout against Italy at Euro 2020, the shootout against Portugal in 2006, the heartbreak against West Germany in 1990. Each time a new generation of players, each time the same result. Gareth Southgate spent 6 years trying to solve this problem. He got England to 2 finals and 2 semi-finals, and still it wasn't enough. Thomas Tuchel is a better tactician than Southgate, but tactics cannot fix what is ultimately a psychological problem. We have seen it happen with stronger England squads than this one. With higher expectations than ever before, the pattern doesn't break until England break it. And in 2026, we don't believe they will. So there you have it. 5 reasons why England will disappoint again at the 2026 World Cup. The history that isn't a coincidence. The weight of expectation they've never learned to manage. The Croatia problem on match day 1. No recognised plan B when their first choice players struggle. And the knockout stage wall that England have hit in tournament after tournament. Now, we want to hear from you. Do you think England will finally break the pattern in 2026? Or are you already dreading the quarter-final exit? Let us know in the comments. And if you think we've got it wrong, tell us why. If you're new here, subscribe to The Sports Drop. We cover football, sport and everything in between every single week. Hit the bell so you never miss a drop. Come on, England, prove us wrong.